Today we're going to be going over a One Piece deck profile of one of my favorite leaders and favorite characters in the One Piece anime, Portgas D. We're going to be going over my deck list, as well as my card choices in the OP-13, as well as going into the OP-14 metagame. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. So what is up, guys? This is Platinum Point. I want to kind of welcome you guys back again for another One Piece video. Today we're going to be going over, like I mentioned at the intro, an Ace deck profile. We're going to be I managed to get my hands on Ace finally, after taking a long break from playing One Piece and trying to actually get this deck together. So without further ado, before we get into the deck profile, I want to thank you guys for checking out my previous One Piece deck profile, which was the green purple Luffy deck, as well as my the previous Pokemon videos. If you've already checked it out, if you haven't and you are interested in playing Pokemon, I suggest you check out my channel and look at my Pokemon TCG catalog. I also play Vice Shorts, so if you want to learn how to play that, the catalog is there for you guys too. So the purpose of this video was to just showcase what I've been tweaking with this deck. If you guys want to see a Marco variant, because they're both Whitebeard pirates, I can gladly showcase that list for you guys later. The reason why I'm focusing on Ace is because Ace is one of my favorite characters in One Piece, and is also just an important, like, it's a meta leader, and I want to kind of cover meta decks, not just like Rogue. So this list is kind of compiled from weeks and days to weeks of testing with this list, and I came up with this final version, at least not final version, or kind of just like a more polished version. I went through various iterations. I was even trying to figure out how to play Ace before it came out. Like, I was trying different variants, and I've settled on this one, and I really like it. So without further ado, we're going to get on to the deck profile. But before we do that, quickly, I just want to explain what the leader is for those who are not familiar. So what the Ace does is, has two abilities. During your opponent's attack, and you can only do it once per turn, you can trash a card from your hand to give one of either the leader or character that's attacking you minus 2k power, which is important because it helps you, like, that's one less damage that you could potentially eat, and helps protect your lanes too. And then once per turn during either player's turn, mine or my opponent's, if I have a Don underneath this card, if a character with 6k base power is KO'd, I can draw a card. I can also draw a card if I take damage. So this card is it's just a really strong leader, and it's probably it's still going to be one of the meta threats in moving on to OP-14. So without further ado, let's get onto the list. So we're going to start off with our one counts. So I'm playing 4 copies of the EZO top 5 search. So it's the same thing as the red one, except it has the nice ability, during your opponent's attack, you can sack this character, trash it from board to draw a card, and then put a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So this gives you free filtering for when you've already launched out the Ace's minus 2k effect, and you just want to get rid of another brick in order to try to potentially get into more counter. This is really helpful for that, but I mainly use it just for the top 5 search, because this deck really needs like consistency pieces right now. Like, One Piece has gotten to a point where now you have to run like at least minimum 2 searchers in your deck, 2 like trait specific searchers, or like what your deck is kind of flowing into, in order to kind of keep ahead in this game. And the thing about Ace, this deck specializes in drawing a lot, so the searchers plus the draw engine makes your deck so much more consistent. And the other searcher that we're running is 4 copies of the Monkey D Garp. So instead of playing the red EZO, I've seen people play this Garp, and after testing it, I have to agree this one is just really strong. Not only, even though it's a let's check the top 4 of your deck, you get to at least add a generic card that is cost 3 or greater. So it can add either the Whitebeard pirates, it can search your Utas, it can search your your Charlotte Puddings, your Yamatos. So it searches basically anything that's cost 3 or higher, and that's really important. And it's just a 2k body that you can swing if your opponent tries to swing with weenies. It's a really good searcher, and it's a 1k guard as well. And then lastly, for our one drops, we play 4 copies of the Otama. This Otama is different from the other one, where you basically draw 2. If you have 3 or less life, you get to draw 2, ditch 1, which is good filtering, and it's just a generic great 2k counter. So that's our one cost line. We're also playing so we're not playing 2 to 3, like 2 cost or 3 cost characters in this deck. We're literally just jumping into our 4 costs. And the main one, our bread and butter, like the best card at the 4 costs, is 4 copies of the new Marco from, I think it's PRB, yeah, PRB2, which has the ability, when this gets KO'd, draw 2 cards, and when you pair it with the ace, putting the Don underneath the ace, you draw 3 easy. It's an easy draw 3, and it's a blocker, so it's really useful. I'm also playing 2 copies of King Drew. In my testing, I found that I needed more attackers, and King Drew allows you to is an easy 6k swing as long as you have Whitebeard Pirates, and majority of this deck is Whitebeard trait. So you're gonna be able to get the easy plus 2k on swing and swing for 6, and if you put a Don, swing for 7, which is really good. Like right now, like in this metagame, you need to be able to swing for either 6 or 7ks really easy, so you can better utilize your Don, especially with this deck, to better utilize your Don for other plays, which is important. Which is why for like this deck not only does a great job of setting up blockers, but it also has great resources for board control and great great access to great attackers. And one of the board controls tools that we use is 2 copies of the Atmos. So it's the same cost as the King Drew. You reveal 2 Whitebeard cards from your hand, and then you get to, but for this one you get to bounce a cost 4 or less from your opponent's out of the field to their hand. So it allows you to take out an attacker, or even if you're going up against a mirror, you can take out the Marco blocker and then just go straight in for damage. And since we're playing blue, we're also playing 2 copies of the Charlotte Pudding. This is just really good at hand disruption, and it's a really necessary tool for this deck. So we're gonna quickly move aside these cards. We can have room for the 4 or 5 cost characters. So our 5 costs, we're only playing 4 copies of the Yamato. This is probably the strongest 5 costs that that blue decks have access to, because not only do you get to draw 2, but you get to move a Rested Don onto your leader, which is very synergizes well with the ace, because not only you get to draw 2, but you get to, especially on your 5 Don turn, if you're going first, you at least get to put the Don under the ace, and then you can swing for 7, which is really cool, and which is really helpful. And it allows you to also proc off the ace ability of drawing if you take life, or if they kill one of your base 6k characters. Actually, let me leave the Yamatos on board. And then continuing on, so another Whitebeard Pirate card that you should be running in this deck, and I'm lucky that I picked these up so early, which is 4 copies of the 6 cost Jozu. This has been an MVP in my testing, because being able to just bounce, whether it be a disruptive card on your, like a problematic card on my opponent's board, or just recycling my searchers, like that's really one of the great parts, is that it has so much flexibility. Not only can you break your opponent's board subtly if you need to, but you can also bounce back your utility cards and just be able to have them for either counter or just to replay them for further like just deck thinning. And then our last 6 drop character that we play is 4 copies of the Uta blocker from the Shanks deck. I regret not picking these up earlier, because this card is just a really strong blocker, and the fact that this deck can easily like shit out 10k power characters really easy, makes this really just a block, not only a blocker but a 2k counter card that you should that ace deck should not ignore. And I play it as a 4 of because I like to see it often, especially when I'm trying to do the I am Whitebeard combo, because not only will I be able to either play the Whitebeard blocker, but now I can play the Uta blocker, which is very helpful. So it's essentially I can get 2 blockers for the price of 1 white 8 cost event, which is so valuable in testing. And it's one of the reasons I know some builds play about between 2 to 4, and I just feel like you have to max it out, because just having an easy 2k blocker that is easily searched out by Garp and it pairs well with your other blockers just makes it really nice. It's true that you don't get to proc the ace ability if you block with it, but the fact that it's a 2k counter is also very helpful. If I could play, if I had enough room in this deck, I would try to play another set of 2k counters just so I can have 12. But with this deck, you kind of have to like sacrifice at least 2 slots for the 2k counters, and because you want to run this card right now since it's still in rotation, the 9-drop Newgate, which is really strong. Is when you pair it with the I am Whitebeard event, you can easily play it at your 8 Dawn curve, and it makes your ace a 8k leader cross turn, which is really helpful. And then when you play another I am Whitebeard to play the blocker, you essentially can make this swing for 12k easily and have the ace get just buffed up, which is really helpful in a lot of matchups. So you play we obviously play 2 copies of the 9-drop Newgate. I also play 4 copies of the 10-drop blocker gate. This card is just really strong, especially if you sequence it right when you play the 9-drop first and then the 10-drop. Because not only do you get to, when you play this at your 10 Dawn curve, when you already have this Newgate, you get this Newgate serves as your attacker, this will be your defender, and if you happen to have the Uta, you have 2 blockers to basically protect yourself from being like making it difficult for your opponent to swing wide, especially if you took a life. If you strategically take a life, because you're not only an 8k leader, but you have now 2 blockers and a 10k attacker that just easily just helps either crack boards or just go for game. And then lastly, for our 10 drops, since we're playing a red deck, you have to run it, especially in this meta where it's very aggressive. Like your 3 life, it's easy to get to 0 life, and if your opponent is like also in like the same level of life difference, like if we're both at 0 life, you got to play this, the 10 drop Roger. Pardon me if you guys can't see it. It's so red. That's the only thing I find crazy about it. But this Roger's just an easy like OP overstated 10 drop that allows you to close the games unfairly very easily. And then lastly, for our events, we play 4 copies of I am Whitebeard, literally the main like bread and butter of the deck. You need to get this at least two copies with two Whitebeard like Edward Newgates, and you just sit there and go, okay, you better try to rush me early, or you better hope that you can get over my 8k base leader or my blockers, or I'm just gonna continuously spam the board with 10 drops and 9 drops just to end the game. I know I've been testing the usage of, let me pull up the other, I might actually run this post rotation. Like, I think you have to. Let me pull it up. There's another 10 drop Whitebeard that we have to consider later, which is this one. And I think it's something that I might be considering even in still in OP-13/14, because this Whitebeard is really helpful with its ability when it comes into play. All of your opponent's characters cross turn can't attack unless your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand. So this is really good against the Emu matchup, because they like to flood the board with the 5 elders and then just pass next turn after they commit their swings, and this forces them, like, cross turn, they can't swing with those 5 characters and get easily just be able to swing wide for free without like depleting their hand, which is something they don't want to do. And if you time it with this beard and make your leader an 8k leader, this just makes it where, okay, you got to pass turn, and then next turn this is just a free attacker, which is very helpful and something I'm considering. And that's one of the reasons why this event is just so broken, because it cheats out a lot of your high costed new gates. And then lastly, for the events, you play 2 copies of Red Rock, your generic. This is just a generic removal that you should run if you're playing blue. And this is my tech right now for my last slot. 2 copies of Slave Arrow. It's a 4k buffer that allows me to bounce any 2 cost or higher characters. So like if, for example, I played a pudding out and my opponent swings at me for a big number or my board, I can at least bounce the pudding cards, like the pudding, the Atmos, even my King True to use as a 2k counter. Heck, I even would sometimes, depending on the situation, even bounce my Yamato or Jozu just so I can get a 4k protection, 4k boost, and be able to play these out again, just so I can either disrupt board or just bounce them back just to use for guarding. But overall, I actually so far, like this is what I've been kind of rocking right now. There's a lot of like resources that this deck has access to, and I'm just right now like learning how to play this deck. Even though like the drawing makes it so much easier to play, I find Ace very difficult to like pilot overall, just because there's so many like lines of plays that you can do. And like if you fub up your, like if you screw up on your like strategic decision making, you're just overall just decision making, this deck you can get really easily punished, which is one of the reasons why I like it. And it's also just because I like the Whitebeard Pirates. They're one of my favorite pirate crews in the One Piece universe. So I hope you guys like this video. I will be doing another deck profile, One Piece deck profile. It's going to be on, we already did GP Luffy. I wanted to cover, wait one sec. Sorry, I'm pulling it up right here. So I actually have I'm working on an updated Yamato list that can be useful during OP-13/14. I feel like for those who like Yamato, there is a way to build it. I'm just still trying to figure it out for myself because I just like Yamato. I also will do an Emu deck list if you guys would like me to do that, as well as I'm prepping to build Mihawk because OP-14 is going to be coming out very soon. And I decided, you know what, since I picked up Zoro late, I could probably just do a quick profile on it if you guys want, just to show you what I've been playing for Zoro. And then once Mihawk comes out, I can show you what to do, how to pivot from Zoro to Mihawk, or at least from what my friends have been teaching me, like how to pivot from that. I can show you what I've been learning about it. So I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, also crack the like button, and yeah, on point, guys. Peace out.